Fowler picked up the award for the solo goal of the week for that opener at Hindmarsh last week. Charlie Miller, well, this time last season he boasted 4 goals in the opening 4 rounds. He's yet to get off the mark in this campaign. He might get his chance tonight. These two teams love getting forward. Should be plenty of goal mouth activity between the Fury and the Raw. Roston Griffiths almost scored last week, hit the crossbar at Hindmarsh, but a big night for Passfield, who steps into the goal in front of the F Troop. 2 seasons warming the bench at Sydney FC in the first 2 campaigns. Spent time with the Raw as well in season 3 and Newcastle last year. Now he finally gets his chance in goal. So it is the Brisbane Raw who get us underway, attacking the goal to the left of screen. Andy Harper alongside for the call. What are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, good one, a real good one. Brisbane will be happy to have got their first win of the season last week. The points table really doesn't reflect the football they've played. Equally, North Queensland will feel aggrieved they didn't pick up 3 points on the road in Adelaide. They're getting better and better. Fantastic stadium for A-League football here. And I think North Queensland can do it, Brenton. I think they came so close last Friday. They probably should be 3 points better off on the table than they are now. Quite conceivably should have drawn the first home game of the season against Sydney. Definitely should have won last week against Adelaide. That's the extra 3 points they should have picked up.
Enrique was onside. Passfield cleared the danger. It wasn't the greatest clearance, but it worked out for the Fury. That's what Robbie Fowler was talking about during the week. That Passfield's more of a sweeper, and we'll see more of that from the new goalkeeper tonight.
Good early play from Justin Passfield, 24 years of age, young Socceroo experience. Has been around top flight football in Australia seemingly forever without actually playing. He gets a huge chance tonight. It was touch and go, really going into that first game of this season between he and Paul Henderson. And Ferguson gave Hendo the nod. 4 games hence. And after hemorrhaging too many goals, Passfield gets his chance.
He won the New South Wales Premier League with Wollongong last season. So he's been playing some football, but never at the A-League level. You think the Fury can do it tonight? Is it a fact of exposing the midfield deficiencies left by the absence of Mackay and Murdocha for the first time in a long time?
Well, I think that plays certainly into their hands.
Here's Robinson finding Fowler, who tried to improvise the shot and find a way past Ready.
It's a huge hole in the Queensland formation. They covered well for the absence of Mas Murdocha, but to lose Matt Mackay as well is huge. And then on top of that is Robbie Fowler trying to catch Ready off his line. David Williams was just on the blind side of Fowler then too, asking for the flick on. And with Danny Teata, there's no guarantees how long he'll last. He's such an important part of their team as well. So that does loom as a potential advantage for North Queensland.
Enrique just clipped by Middleby.
They certainly need to take the pressure off themselves and not need to score 4 and 5 goals a week to win matches. And that comes from the centre pairing. So much from the centre pairing. Kohler and Carl Dodd this evening.
Cruz picked out by Malcolm. It was a lovely switch by the big centre half. Craig Moore eventually settles on Van Dijk as the option. He's done beautifully to find Cruz. A little nutmeg on Talay. And the foul conceded by Roston Griffiths. Well played, Robbie Cruz.
Indeed. And the other thing about North Queensland, just before the game really gets into full swing, is I think we can think Gold Coast an exception rather than the rule. Here's the foul on Robbie Cruz. Starting teams from scratch when other clubs have had 4 and 5 years experience, it does take you a while to find your feet. North Queensland will admit to making a couple of mistakes, but gradually they'll gain momentum. tonight could be the kickstart they really need.
Miller and Tiato over the set piece. Van Dijk, De Vere and Moore have gone forward. Enrique's setting off on a run. Brisbane working on something. The crowd want the free kick taken. Miller eventually flights it towards Moore, who won the header. Cruz back to Tiato, who can hit them from there, of course. Couldn't quite get hold of that one. A chance on the break if Middleby can get away from the midfield duo, and there's going to be an early yellow card. He could take his pick there, and he's gone for David Dodd, Matthew Breeze.
Yeah, it's an early yellow card for David Dodd. You know, the last couple of rounds the referees have been very, very patient, but not so tonight, Matthew Breeze. Robbie Middleby really struggling to make ground. He did have the edge on both Tiato and Dodd as he looked to burst out of midfield there.
Not what you want in your first start of the season, to sit on a yellow card from the 5-minute mark. Cruz's flick on only as far as Talley. Good quick feet from Robinson. A little nibble from Miller was spotted by Breeze. Williams comes across to talk it over with Talley. Fancy it would be the veteran to deliver. There's Talley who drives it in as far as Van Dijk. There's Tadros. Cruz back to lend a hand. Sliding challenge from Van Dijk. Polo just chipping it to Robinson, who's got some room to move. Drives it towards Williams, who did well to win the header. Here's Fowler. Heard McBreen with the call. Fowler again searching for Griffiths. Good sustained attack here by the Fury. Robinson. Fowler. Robbie Fowler, great goal! His first goal from open play here at Dairy Farmers Stadium, and he took it beautifully.
Didn't he what? Class, all class. Ecclesiastical class. Beautiful build-up, patient build-up, North Queensland. Ufuk Talay prominent, excellent work, James Robinson. And with a deft clip with the left foot, found an even more deft touch with the outside of God's left foot. He's parted the waters. He's found the back of the net, and North Queensland off to an early lead. Beautiful stuff.
The two Scousers combined, boyhood Everton fans, and the Liverpool legend taps it away. A clinical finish on the right foot. So often we see him finish on the left. He did all the lead-up work with the left and then finished off with the right. The Fury up and running. 1-0 up after less than 8 minutes here. Miller trying to turn away from Talley. But that was a reward for sustained attack in the opening stages from the home side.
That's the price you pay for class. Delightful from Robbie Fowler.
There's Cruz. Trying to get away from Tadros. The left back's done the job.
So it was the cushion with the outside of the left foot, and then the composure to use his less favoured foot, although we won't be able to say that much longer because it's 2 weeks in a row he scored with the right. But he confronted the goal, he eyeballed the goalkeeper. It was from close range, so Liam Reddy had some angles to play with, and just so cool with the slot. That is a gorgeous touch, and so cool on the finish.
Bob Malcolm knew he was done as soon as he saw Fowler get that first touch. Here's Tiato. One for Cruz to chase, but Tadros can just let it run.
Well, second week in a row, North Queensland have the lead, an early lead. And now we get a good chance to see if they're learning their lessons. So disappointed with the men from Townsville letting that lead slip late last week. Came from behind. It was a rousing comeback. Good work off the bench by Coachie and Ferguson. Good contribution, Freddie Aegis. But they couldn't hang on. Well, they got another chance just 7 days hence to show that they've learnt their lessons.
Here's McBreen. Williams. David Williams with some try. Reddy had to tip it over. He got hold of that, the youngster.
With barely any backswing too, and that's what caught everyone by surprise. It had a fair bit of swerve too. Williams just props, stops, swings. And how's your father, Liam Reddy? Beautiful work, Davey Williams. Needed to be saved as well.
Played 39 minutes with the Raw in season 1 before heading off to Denmark.
Get up, get up, get up!
Nothing comes of the corner delivered by Fowler. And Miller just sucked Williams in there. And having a debate with Breeze over whether Williams deserved the yellow card. Of course, Miller wasn't happy when Dodd went in the book early.
No, exactly. And the thing with an early yellow card for David Dodd means that the pressure on Matthew Breeze then to have eagle eyes on that challenge from David Williams. I'm not in favour of referees dishing out yellow cards willy-nilly. Beautiful work by the youngster. Nevertheless, Charlie Miller perhaps does have a case.
Van Dijk's flick on. Cruz inside the box. The offside flag is up.
Serge Van Dijk just coming from the offside position to win that glancing header. He started the season the way he finished last year in general terms, just such a handful up front. Well, to get strike back, Queensland, or the Brisbane version of this Queensland Classico, need to inject Enrique and Robbie Cruz. They've both had early touches, but they're both real advantages for Brisbane. Just a matter of the Raw getting the ball to them on a consistent basis.
Very soft foul given away by Middleby, according to referee Breeze. Malcolm drives it long. This time Van Dijk's onside. Almost knocked it down invitingly for Cruz. Fowler and Moore go at it. Won't be the last time tonight. Throw in goes the home side's way. Middleby trying to launch it early towards McBreen. It'll be comfortable again for Passfield, who must be delighted with the opening 12 minutes.
Well, he hasn't had a lot to do. He's come out and swept up nicely once. He's had a poor kick the last time he released, but it worked in the end for North Queensland. He's being enabled to ease himself into A-League football.
Talking to Mark Bosnich yesterday, he said he's a very good kicker, Passfield, and he's driven that one well to Griffiths to flick on. McBreen trying to work over Dodd, who might have got a whistle. Miller. And another nibble from Talley this time. Charlie Miller fired up here at Dairy Farmers. Fury content to mix it up in the opening stages. 7 fouls against the home side. 2 fouls for the visitors, and one of those led to the early card. Here's Tiato, beaten to it by Tadros. Fowler chesting it down this time.